Hello, my name is Dario Romero. I'm an attorney here in Tempe, Arizona, and I handle cases relating to immigration and accident law. Here in this video, we'll be talking about the U visa, what that process is about, and whether if you qualify. So in these steps, we're going to talk about what the U visa are, what are the requirements, and what crimes actually qualify, because not all crimes qualify. And if you believe you qualify for those, then I'll tell you what are the next steps you need to do in order to get a good legal advice to see if you qualify or not. So first, what is a U visa? If once approved, a U visa is a 4-year temporary status where immigration gives you the ability to work and live here in the United States. And this is given to people who were the victims of serious crimes. What are the requirements exactly? So we need to prove that you were a victim of a serious crime, that you suffered physical or psychological harm, that you helped in the investigation of the crime, and that the police certify that yes, you were a victim of a serious crime, and 2, that you did help. Right now, the government only gives 10,000 visas a year, so we are looking at a long process until immigration actually looks at your case. Right now, the processing time is anywhere from 5 to 7 years for immigration to decide whether they approve your case or not. And again, that goes back to how many visas are available a year, and also how many people are applying for these visas, and the backlog it keeps creating, because there is no time limit when this crime happened. So this crime could have happened 20, 30 years ago, and under the law, you can still request a U visa under that crime if it happens so far away. So what crimes qualify? Because not all crimes qualify. It has to be a serious crime. And these are the most common ones that I see: domestic violence, aggravated assault, kidnapping, murder, or other serious crime. So domestic violence, it could involve a partner, a spouse, a child, a sibling, someone that you live with or have lived with, and that there was actually assault, some type of offensive contact. It doesn't matter if there was no actual criminal case against the person, just that there was an actual investigation and that you gave information for that case. Aggravated assault, that applies to other people, and aggravated, it means something more than just normal. So if someone just slaps you or punches you, doesn't qualify. But if they use some type of article or weapon, then it could qualify. It all depends on the circumstances. Kidnapping or murder was self-explanatory. Again, this also applies to spouses or children. If your significant other was a victim of this type of crime, or your children, then you can potentially apply for this application. Even let's assume that a person is not married at the time that the crime happened. Later they get married, and then later they file for that U visa. Well, your spouse can be included in the application, and your children, even if they were not around when the crime actually happened. So what are your next steps? Number 1 is go get your police report. Get that from the city and the police station where it happened. And this is not just the victim's pamphlet or the police report number. This is the report that says exactly what happened in great detail, what the police investigated, what was said, because that's what an attorney will look at to determine if you qualify for this type of case. Also, save any evidence that you have related to this case. If someone was bruised, cut, whatever the case may be, take pictures, save those pictures, because it will be needed for immigration's purposes. Also, do not be afraid to help in the investigation. I've heard people are afraid to call the police or give too much information because they're afraid that because they don't have legal status, they don't want to get in trouble. That's not the case. Most agencies, most police officers are understanding, and all they do are investigating a crime. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, there is no time limit when the crime happened. So just make sure that you don't let too much time pass, because sometimes agencies can destroy old files. So you want to make sure that you have a good copy. Once you have the police report, please seek legal advice. Go to an attorney to determine if you are eligible, if the crime qualifies, because the next step will be requesting a certification from the police that 1, you were a victim of the crime, and 2, that you actually helped. That's the first document that we need in order to submit a U visa. Without that, there is no case. So what are the benefits? As I mentioned earlier, you can petition, you can include your significant other, your spouse, your children into this application. Also, it can forgive a lot of immigration problems such as criminal history, multiple entries. There's a lot of ways that people may not qualify for other applications that a U visa can eliminate. So that's the nice thing about this application. That's one of the only ones that can clean a lot of those things. And also, if you're granted the U visa, like I mentioned, after the 3-year mark of having it, you can apply for your U.S. permanent residency. You have to make sure you do it before the 4 years or before it expires. As I mentioned, I practice here in Tempe, Arizona, which is the Phoenix Valley. If you live in this area, get the police report, then schedule an appointment. If you live in another state or another city, call an attorney that's local to you. I hope this information was helpful, and I wish you have a nice day. Thank you.